top of your papers, you guys have the correct label for your science notebooks. What I have in front of you is a mystery powder. And what I want you to do with this mystery powder is I want you to open up your bags, put a little bit on your finger, and I want you to write down everything that you see, smell, don't taste it. But go ahead and take it out and check it out and write down any properties that you see on your finger.
It's on my hand.
Just a little bit, just take a look at what you got. You can smell it, you can rub it around in your fingers.
It looks like little pieces of snow. Smells.
And write down in your science notebooks any observations that you see, any properties that it has. Had a chance to write a few things down. Alright, so here's what I need. Number one, so that you guys have had an opportunity to touch them. You're going to do hands off for a little while. You can do the experiments after we're all done. But I'm going to have you guys videoing what's going on today. Okay, and what you're going to do is you're going to create a iMovie trailer of this whole experiment. And so you're going to be the videographer, so while you're videoing, think about different angles and different ways that you'd like to present this to us and what you discover with it. Okay, and so you can talk your way through it with your group and how you want to do this. So, for now, you guys are hands off just because you don't want to get this on the iPads while you're videoing. The rest of your group is going to go ahead and do the experiments. Yes?
So are we making a trailer?
A trailer. Yeah. Okay, so the next thing that I want you to do with these, and obviously I know you want to figure out what's happening with them, is I want you to answer this question in your notebooks. See if you can answer this question. Predict what you think this is. Okay, and I just want you to write down, what do you think this mystery white powder is? You had a chance to smell it and feel it. Again, you haven't had an opportunity to taste it because you don't want to taste this, and you'll see why in a little while.
Wait.
You'll see.
You're not tasting it?
You're not going to ever taste this.
Might be bad.
Okay.
Will we find out what it is today?
Absolutely.
Oh,
But I want you to predict what you think it is, what it's used for. And you can take a guess at what it is and what you think it's used for.
I think it's like sodium or something because it goes in the powder.
All right, so Ryan, what's your question?
So like when you just like do this, it starts to jump. Like the stuff starts to when you like stop when you like this, when you put it down, it starts to jump.
So what do you think is making that happen?
I don't know.
You know, so it's jumping around in there?
Why? Yeah, look at it.
So Ryan says it's kind of attaching to the side of your bag. Anybody think they know what's happening inside your bag when it does that? Electricity. That's probably sad electricity happening. We'll see in just a minute. Yeah, we're going to show you actually what that is.
doing it? Why is that
All right. So what you have inside your bags is a mystery powder that is used in multi-million-dollar movies. Okay? And so I'm going to show you how and why in just a second.
Wait,
Okay,
it's in
so-
$1 million movies?
Yep. And we'll see if what your prediction is even close in just a second.
It's in
Okay.
wine.
Here's what you have.
It's in wine.
Okay, you have a mystery powder, and what we're going to do is we're going to add water to this mystery powder. Okay, and when you add water to this, I sat outside and measured a precise amount in each of your bags, so hopefully you haven't spilled too much on your tables. I have an exact amount of water. It's 2 ounces of water, 1/4 of a cup, okay, for each one of you. And what you're going to do is you're going to add water and observe. Now, when I say observe, what are some other ways that you can do other than just looking at it when it comes to observing chemical reactions? You can smell it, so you can open it while it's reacting with us.
See if it's hot or cold.
You can feel if it's hot or cold. You can feel temperature. Okay, so those are some other observations that you're going to want to do when you add the water. Okay, you can obviously have the bag open, as well as you can keep your nose near it, as well as you can feel the bag and see if there's any temperature changing. Yes. You definitely may be able to hear something as well. Thank you for sharing that. All right, so here's what I need. I need number 2s to walk over to the table, and I need for you to bring a cup of water for each member of your group, but don't add the water yet. Anytime.
Mr. Gamer, have you used it before?
Have I?
Have you done this before?
Have you done
Our
this
class
before?
is, I have, yeah, absolutely.
Can we just record it?
Yeah, recorders, you can record starting now. Starting anytime.
No, run into
Yeah,
recording.
because eventually they're going to want to add it.
Unless you don't want to do it.
Don't add it yet, though.
What am I doing? Talking over something.
Okay, watch this, Mr. Gamer. Ready?
Excuse me.
Vibrates.
Why? Do they have iMovies in this?
Can I drink this?
Not yet, don't add the water yet.
I'm doing it right now. No, he said not to do it, just do it.
Okay. People that are videoing, this is a good time to video. Okay, it's a good time to watch the reaction and what happens. Okay, hang on. So, here's what I want you to do. I want you to make another prediction. You predicted what you thought this stuff was. So now on your notebooks, I want you to make a second prediction. I want you to write down what do you think is going to happen when you add water to this. So just predict what you think is going to happen. You can either do it in, what?
Even the recorders do it?
No, recorders are just recording. You get to do it after you're done. Just video for now. So you're predicting what you think will happen when you add water to it. Michael asked a really good question. He said, do you do it in the bag or the cup? You're going to do pour the water into the bag is where you'll end up doing it. But don't do it yet. I know you guys are ready. All right, so I just want to hear a couple predictions. What do you think's going to happen? Cam, what do you think?
Like, it might bubble up and get very hot.
Okay, so bubble in and get hot?
It might turn white or like be clear or get cold.
Okay, cool.
I thought it was gonna bubble and fizz and stick to the back and vibrate and turn all cold.
All right, you guys with your hands up, I want you to turn to your shoulder partner, and I want you to tell them what you think is going to happen.
Like it'll absorb it. This would definitely strengthen my arms.
I put this on my hand and I went to smell it and it got up my nose.
That's okay. Okay, all right, so let's move to the next step. Here's something I want to ask you. Properties. So let's go back to what are some of the properties that you saw with this? What do you see?
The properties of it?
Yeah, what do you see in there?
Little white things.
Little white things, like
Like grains of sand.
grains of sand. Ooh, I like that. What else?
It looks kind of like snowflakes.
Kind of like snowflakes? Okay.
It's hard.
Okay, it's really hard if you feel it in between your fingers.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It's white and feels like sand.
Okay. Did anybody get a smell at all?
No.
Okay, so here's what I want you to pay attention to.
Same thing.
One of the things that Cameron said is that it's like grains of sand. If you take a look, there are individual grains in there. And that's going to play a part in this when you add the water. Okay? And so I want you to pay attention to those individual grains as this is happening. Okay? Alright, should be pretty instantaneous. So you gotta really pay attention quickly. Yeah.
Do you think the things will dissolve?
Do I think the things will dissolve? That's a great prediction. I don't know. Let's see what happens.
Oh,
Alright,
Wait,
go
hang
ahead and add the water.
Maddie, I want you to do it. Do it. Just do the.
Whoa! It's
Dude,
That's what I was just thinking.
Oh, this spaghetti!
What the hell?
Here, do it.
Whoa, it's snow. Libby, I told you.
I need to get somebody's from the beginning.
Yes, I did.
Here, Maddie. Here, Maddie, do it.
Maddie,
Maddie, do it.
I'm not allowed.
This is from the beginning, right here. Wait, do it.
Mr. Gillen.
Dude, don't shove it right in the camera.
Look at some water.
Water.
It absorbs the water.
It's
all soft now. It feels like.
That's what I said. I said it absorbed the water.
I think it's stick together.
I said stick together and absorb the water.
Well, it is pretty good. It's not.
Maddie, do it.
Mr. Gillen, I'm doing it because he tells me to.
I want to get it from the. Wait, hang on. No, not yet. Okay, ready? Hold the bag right there. Ready, set, go. This feels smooth.
Well done.
Keep it there. Keep it there.
That's what I said.
Wait, don't move it.
You have to shake it around. It feels like rope. It feels like a muffin.
What a great question. Alright. So, had the magic question just now. I love that one. Izzy asked us, what is it used for? Okay, and so here's what I want you to think about while you're looking at it. Now I want you to take that bag and look at the individual grains. Do you still see individual grains or not?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Justin shared with us something really interesting. Justin, what did you say that you think happened?
I thought it would absorb the water.
Okay, and what he thinks is that it absorbed the water. So if it absorbed the water, do the grains change size?
Yes.
Yes.
Because they have to take it in.
Did each grain take in water?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So then the next magic question that I love, and I want you to write down your notebooks. Okay. I want you to write down, what do you think this could be used for? Now, obviously somebody already said, this is snow. Yes, and I'll tell you about the whole snow story later. But what else do you think this could be used for? This is something that absorbs water. It does smell a little chemical-y, and I'll tell you again why that is in a few minutes. So what I want you to do in your notebooks right now, don't share it out loud yet, I want you to write down in your notebooks, what do you think this could be used for? Okay, go ahead and write it down.
Why are you going to feel it?
You guys not gonna feel it?
Is it toxic? Awesome.
It's so weird. Why didn't you do it?
Would it be toxic if we touched it?
What? I know,
It's not
right?
toxic. It's not edible.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't eat it. We do. He's holding the iPad.
What do you think this could be used for?
Oh, I didn't.
Something that absorbs water.
Mr. Dalen, could it be used for like cushioning?
Cushioning? It could.
I think he used it for like,
Write it down.
I didn't know.
Big snow cone.
Oh, yeah.
No, I just said what you said.
I'm gonna do movie sign.
It could be used for the color.
Just keep like armpit. Oh, that's lovely.
I haven't gotten anybody who says they know what they think they know what it's used for.
We think it's like for movies and like
Okay,
make
so let
snow
me
and
give
jelly
some more
shots.
suggestions.
Fake snow.
What can it be used for?
Smells like
Alright,
I got one.
alright, Ryan, what's one thing you think it would be used for?
Like something that's fragile, like in a fragile box, to keep it like safe.
Do you think that would be something that you could pack something in with this?
Yeah.
Now, not knowing what it is, could you put in something valuable if you don't know what it is? You may not want to do that, but that's a great idea. Because it's something that could be. What else?
The falling snow movie.
Okay, so falling snow in movies. Alright, so I'll let a little bit of cat out of the bag with the snow part of it. Did it change temperature when you felt it?
Yeah.
Okay, a little bit? Not a lot though, right?
No.
Okay, now this can be used for indoor snow ski areas. And guess what? When you fall down, do you get wet?
No.
No. When you fall down, do you get cold?
No.
No. Did you see how little there was in there and how much it made? Okay, this was one little tiny cupful. And it's non-toxic, so it's not going to hurt you. Alright, so, okay, now, I need everybody to sit back in your chairs, please. Okay, there we go. Okay. So, great conversations in the sense of, alright, so what could this be used for? And as we talked about this morning, it is a good conversation piece because what other things can this be used for? Alright, so we said snow, we said packing, what else?
It could be used for like my sister dry pond in the pool. It could be used for like absorbing water like rice.
Check that out. Because there's all kinds of times when you have water that's spilled. Could you pour this on and absorb the water and it'll go away? Sweep this into a trash can and get rid of it, right? Because it's non-toxic. It's not something that will ruin our landfills or anything like that. Yep. To dry fruit, you could, maybe. Wait till I tell you the real reason that it's used for and you'll see. Something what? Okay. These are for pillow. Okay, now, okay, come back to me. Okay, so the next part that I want to talk to you about, alright, I want you now to see if you can figure this mystery out, okay, because this actually, when they invented this, was a mistake. They accidentally made this because they were trying to make something else, okay, and the something else, I'm going to see if you can raise your hand, not yell it out at me, if you can figure out what this was really made for. Now this is a super absorbent. It absorbs water or a liquid. It absorbs liquid, and they do it so that it gets rid of liquids. It's a really important multi-million-dollar industry out there that's used. So what do you think?
Soap sponge?
Not soap sponges. What else? What else?
A towel.
A towel. Okay.
Absorb like oil.
Oh, I wonder if it could absorb oil. That would be a fun experiment.
Try it.
We should. All right, so let me think about that. Maybe we can. Let me ask you this, though, because I want to see if I can lead you to this question. Anybody have little brothers or sisters? Little.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Oh. All right. Okay. Now, hang on. This is always the reaction that we get out of this. And that's what makes me laugh.
I got it.
All right, guys, come back to me.
Diapers. You're so weird.
Okay. Now, this is something that is used when they were trying to create some research to make absorbents for diapers. They created this. This isn't what is actually in diapers, because if this was in diapers, you would have a major problem because the diapers would get too big. But it is very similar to what is in diapers, because what happens in diapers, obviously, is babies do their business, and if they didn't have something that absorbed that liquid, then it would just come out.
Ew.
And so, what it does is it actually absorbs the water. So what this is called,
Are you sure?
Oh, yeah.
You're stealing mine?
Polycarbonate.
okay, let's take a look at these two words together. Tyler, turn your body, please. Okay, these two words, sodium polycarbonate, is what you have in your hands right now. Can anybody tell me what the first word is? Tyler, this is salt. Okay, so it has a salt content to it. Okay, poly. Poly is a prefix. What does poly mean? We've had this word many, many times in our classroom. Again, Tyler, what do you think it is? Not pollen.
Water?
Not water. Okay, that's all right, Michael. What? That's okay.
5.
That would be pent, P-E-N-T.
I was thinking like, 6.
Okay.
Like poly,
Poly means a lot.
like polygon.
Like polygon, a lot of sides. Okay, poly means polytheism. Remember, it has lots of gods. The Egyptians were that way. So polycarbonate, poly means a bunch. Okay, carbon is a chemical bond. Okay, and what happens is that the sodium and the polycarbonate connect to that water, and they absorb it, and they make these really big bonds. And by making these bonds, it is able to absorb the water. Now, can you think of anything that might break that up? Break up those bonds so that it no longer looks like this?
Heat.
Okay, heat might do it. What else?
The sun.
The sun, so the sun and the heat and the radiation maybe?
The water.
So if you added more water, do you think it would change the way it looks?
Yeah.
Do you remember I told you I had precisely 2 ounces of water? It could get bigger or something else could happen to it. And I'm going to tell you why you don't want to. Okay, it could explode. All right, here's the deal. You can add salt to this, and it will break it all apart. In fact, the water will come back out, and it'll do some very strange things. Now, okay, hang on. What I want to finish up with this. Okay, for the last 5 minutes or so, I'm going to have you guys work with your groups to finish up this movie and what happened with it. But what you've got in front of you is something that is used for movies now. It's used in places for skiing, and it's used for baby bottoms, for absorbing liquids out of diapers. And so it's one of those things that has made somebody very, very rich. Okay, so what I want to tell you is that this belongs to you. Okay, you can take it home, you can set it in the sun, it will go back to the grains, and then you can do it again.
Where can you buy this? Where can you buy this?
We have water. Where do you buy this?
What you can do is if you add too much water to it, which is a cool experiment, but you'll never get it back to its grainy stage. Okay, it's just part of, once it hits that saturation point, which we learned a long time ago, once it hits that point, it won't go back. Okay, right now it's at its perfect state. If you want it to go back to what it was in the beginning, if you leave it, it will get back to that point. It'll take a couple of days, and it turns funny colors because it's got your germs all over it right now, and those germs like to grow. So you can do that. Okay, so here's what I want for you to do. I want you to finish this up by adding the last 5 minutes by creating your video, and that way we can show our videos tomorrow. Okay? All right, go ahead and work with your last couple of minutes.
Videotaping your drink because you have the smartest. You've got the best drink.
Jackson.